everybody. This is a classic study by Richard Reti, and I'm a bit amazed that I haven't posted this one before, so it's time now, of course. This is a position where everybody thinks it's a win for black. I mean, it's got 3 pawns here, and we only got one, and the king is the black king is a lot closer to the pawn than our white king is. So how on earth are we going to save a draw here? Well, our pawn is of course going up and the black pawns are going down. So white to move here, and we can save a draw. I'm not kidding you. If you can't find it, then you should pause the video and think about it for as long as you need and see if you can find out the variation here that leads to a draw. Go ahead. And welcome back. Okay, so, well, of course, we shouldn't raise our pawn here. Black will just take it. And then we are alone against 3 pawns here, which we cannot win, obviously, or even draw. It's a clear loss. So, the point is we are attacking here. The first move is not that hard to find. King g6. The thing is, of course, that if we take any of this pawn on g7, both these pawns are running away from us. But nevertheless, we are making a draw here. So let's first look at the obvious starting move here for black. King b6. He wants to take this pawn and then just get his king in here to join. And now we are simply taking this pawn. And we are allowing black to run away with any of these 2 pawns, but still we are making this a draw. So, okay, let's start with the main variation. h5. We cannot catch this, obviously, but we can take the pawn on f6, and we are threatening to catch this pawn, so he must continue to push it. And from here, can you see how white is saving the draw from this variation? Yes, here it is. We're playing the brilliant move King e5. We don't have to run straight to catch this pawn. We can do it diagonally. Now, if black takes our pawn, then we simply go back against this h-pawn, and you see we will catch this. So, after King e5, if it instead pushes his pawn, not allowing us to catch it, well, then we have our king suddenly close to our own pawn. So we can play King d6. And look at this. We will get the queen each. It doesn't help if black plays King b7. We will just follow up with King d7. And we get a queen each. And this is obviously a clear draw. Just amazing. But okay, let's look at more variations. That was the main variation and the main solution to the study. Let's do this again. What happens if it doesn't run with the h-pawn, but instead it chooses to run with the f-pawn? This is a bit different, because now we cannot take here on h-pawn and come closer, because the king is too far away from our pawn. So he will just run here. And we cannot do something magic like this and then turn back, because we're not close enough. He can simply take here or take a queen, and we are losing. So, after we take here, it plays f5. We are not taking this. Instead, we're making the exact same move as before. We go to f6, even though there's not a pawn there. We are attacking this, because this pawn here on h is not dangerous enough. We can just ignore it at the moment, and he will keep on attacking, and this will actually be the same. We turn back now, and we will get the queen each. It doesn't waste any time on b7, so we can promote with a tempo instead. There's a queen, and this pawn here, this extra pawn, this is by far not enough to win this for black. He will just start checking, and we go towards the pawn. And we should not be doing the mistake of playing King e6 here. Then it's a check, we lose the queen, and we lose the game. But instead we can go to e5. We can also go to e7. Doesn't really matter. When black starts checking, we will start checking, and it's eternal checks, and this is a draw. Okay, so let's start over from the beginning. King g6. What if black doesn't waste a move here on playing b6? Instead, he runs his f pawn, or h pawn, it will be the same. Now we cannot make the mistake of taking this, because then we will lose. Then king b6 will come, and we have lost a tempo. We have to go back, and he will simply take our pawn. And now you see we cannot take this. This is a loss. So after f5, instead, we stick to our original plan. We still take on g7, let him run. Now we're 2 steps behind, but also black is 1 step further away from our pawn. So even though he's running here, now we have to give this up. We cannot play king e5. That will be a loss. Instead, we go all in to protect our pawn. We will come to d7 if the king moves. Otherwise, we will just, you see, promote both of us. Something like this and this. So this is winning anyway. And the same goes if he plays h5. Doesn't matter. We still go on with our original plan like this. And we will play king e7. If he makes the move king b6, yes, then we go to e5, and we're in the same position as the first variation we saw. Now we either go here or go here, depending on black, if he moves the pawn or if he takes our pawn. So, weirdly enough, from the starting position, king g6 managed to save a draw for white, and it's just amazing. Beautiful study, of course. Richard Reti, this is a classic. I think you've seen it before, many of you. Still, it's worth watching again and again. Thank you for watching my video. I hope I see you tomorrow again in my next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.